Emmanuel, tough race out there tonight. We were speaking earlier in the day. You've been a little bit under the weather, a bit sick coming into this.
Yeah, I was very sick. I was very sick coming into the race, and I don't know. I get it from my daughter, and I've been sick. I was going through. I have like 3 medication: Advil, painkillers, and sinuses, and the stuff that they gave me on the pharmacy. So I was trying to clear my. I was drinking a lot of water and lemonade to try and clear up, but it never happened. So, I was just trying to race. But I was coming here to run under 13, but unfortunately with life situation happens and you will just leave to God, yeah.
It's part of the game, isn't it? Whether it's sickness or injury. How do you kind of coming into a race like this, even though you're not feeling good, you're on medication, how do you kind of give yourself the confidence or pick yourself up to still get after it?
Yeah, you actually look at your training logs and say, hey, you've done a lot of work, and I mean, with or without sickness, you're just gonna do it. So I was actually under good training, and I've been really training. My training has been really well to show that I can run under 13, but it's what it is. I take it, go back to the drawing board and see what next. Next is trials. See what's going to happen in trials, and we move from there,
So what's next for you now?
I have to go to trials because I ran 13:10. I think I ran horrible for this one. But I'm going to see what happens in trials, and, we'll see if making team or not, and we'll figure out from there.
Part of being a top athlete is, everything can't always be right,
Right.
And I know we were only 2 minutes after the race right now, but going away from this race, how do you kind of talk to yourself and acknowledge that you were sick and kind of understand that and say that to yourself that you were sick, and that next day it might be fine, and watching others running the times, how do you kind of even though with the disappointment, how do you kind of accept that you were sick,
Yeah, I always say I better be sick, and my brother, he was injured. He used to top shape, steeplechase, and he was injured. And I look at injuries and I say I better be running than being injured, and I feel bad for my brother, and he's tough. I'm motivating all the time, and I always say it's better that little sickness than being away from it, and that motivates me that there's some things that I can just adjust that I need to do before traveling and stuff like that actually will help me in the near future, and stay motivated with what I want to do and accomplish as in life,
And before you got sick, how has the preparation been this year leading into the season?
Oh, it's been amazing. I've been training in Colorado Springs, and it's been really, really well. I mean, I've been training with the really good group, and everything is coming on. I was doing even some very 2K times 3s, and I was clicking really well, race pace, and I was excited. I was looking forward even to some 1K that I did was amazing. So it's just a little bit downfall, but we push. You fall one day, you come up the next day, and you still you want to do the best.
At this level in the sport, if you're off 1%, it shows,
It does.
After tonight now, do you think you'll go away and maybe take a little down week, or what will you try and recover and get over the sickness before USA trials?
No, actually I will just maybe do his runs, and then my next workout will be another 1 week to make sure that I'm recovered, and I'll check my iron and to see if my iron is up, and to make sure I don't have any other sickness, and just move on. I know I have the strength and the training that I've been training, and by trials I'll be ready. So we have 3 months. I mean, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I'll be ready for that for sure.
And between now and then, no more racing. Is it just getting ready for the
No
trials?
more racing. Yeah, no more racing. I'll just I normally do 5 and 10,000, but this time I'm gonna focus on 5,000. Yeah.
Well, it's these little setbacks, really show the perseverance and the toughness of an athlete, man. And
right.
It's moments like this really test you.
Yeah, I gave it all. I mean, to be honest, I gave it all. I wanted to really run hard until I felt like I was suffocating at 5 laps to go, and I was like, I'm gonna just give it all. Whatever happens. If I ran any, I know in my heart that I gave it all. That's what matters the most. I'm sure my daughter was watching me. And you always say, whatever happens, give it all. and then come home and, you know, look back to it and just look at the notes and see where I went wrong and move from there, you know. So she's always my great motivator, you know.
Well, Emmanuel, man,
Yeah.
you're a brave man, and
Yeah.
like it's so cool. You got after it tonight,
Yeah.
and you know that little bit of sickness shows in the last few laps, but it's there for you.
Yes.
So cool to see you, man.
Thank you,
You
yeah.
know, a lot of athletes come into races when they're sick or injured, and maybe they have excuse or that.
Right.
You got after it straight away, and like you know, that there is inspiration in that, and it's so cool to see.
Thank you. I actually even called the race organizer when I arrived. I was like, hey, do you guys have a medical doctor? I'm very sick. Yeah. But you know, I was like, he's like, hey, go to pharmacy. And I was looking for the word pharmacy. And I kept asking, where is pharmacy? They say the name is Apothe. Apothhe. Yeah. And I end up going there. So see how I was determined and motivated to, I just want to run faster, you know. But I'm very happy for what happened. You know, life is just like that, you know. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, good lessons in that, because everyone goes sickness and through injury,
Yeah.
and to come away after a race like that and to have that perspective only 2 minutes after the race, I think lots of athletes can take a lot from that. So you're an inspiration to everyone, man.
Thank you, sir.
Congrats, and best of luck
Appreciate
for
it.
the West of
Thank
the
you so
season.
much. Appreciate for
Nice,
this
man.
time. Thank you.
Nice, Emmanuel,
All right,
man.
thank you.
Cheers,
Yeah.
man.